Thank you for your testimony. We had your predecessor, Mr. Sam Bankman-Fried, before this committee a year ago. And given where we are, can we just start from the beginning? You have in your declarations some clear outlines, but I want to make sure we have this in the record. There are different groups of businesses under the FTX platform or umbrella. Your declarations separate the businesses into 4 silos. We described that.
Yes. For structural purposes and just for ease of presentation, we tried to take the over 100 entities and we put those in 4 silos. To demystify that, it's very simple. There was a U.S. silo, which was the FTX U.S. exchange for U.S. Investors. There was an international exchange called FTX.com, again for non-U.S. persons that invested in crypto. There was Alameda, which is purely a crypto hedge fund, which made other investments, venture capital type investments. Then there's a 4th entity, which was purely investments, and although our investigation is not complete, those investments were most likely made with either Alameda money or money that originally came from FTX.com. But that 4th silo is just purely investments.
And who owned those 4 silos?
All those entities were, owned or controlled by Sam Bankman-Fried.
Okay. And so can you describe the differences between the FTX.com and FTX US silos?
Yes. Very simply, FTX US was for U.S. citizens who wanted to trade crypto. FTX.com was for, U.S. citizens were not allowed to trade on that exchange. That's very simple. And I would make one other comment, which is separate and apart from any of those 2 silos. It was Ledger X, which is a regulated entity regulated by the CFTC, solvent and separate from the FTX US silo.
Okay, and that is a distinct silo. That's a distinct company.
That is a distinct company within the U.S. silo, yes.
Okay, so then Alameda Research and the venture capital businesses, what did Alameda Research do?
Essentially made crypto investments, engaged in margin trading, took long and short positions in crypto, essentially invested in crypto. But of course, we now know also invested in over $5 billion of other assets, which are in a variety of sectors.
And what was the practice between Alameda Research and FTX.com? Have you established anything you can disclose to us today?
In essence, Alameda was a user, effectively a customer of FTX.com. That's how it was essentially structured.
Was that a distinct set of capital between those 2 companies?
Well, we now know the answer to that is no.
No. Okay. And with the information you have right now, when approximately did FTX begin to experience financial trouble?
Well, it was first disclosed to the public beginning around November 2nd. But when this began was months, if not earlier years. Our investigation is continuing. But this is not something that happened overnight or in the context of a week.
Okay. So you had the distinction between FTX US, FTX.com, Alameda Research. What was the relationship between FTX.com and FTX US? Was there a distinction between the 2?
There was a public distinction between the 2. What we're seeing, though, is that the crypto assets for both FTX.com and for FTX US, were housed in the same database. It's called the AWS system, which is just an acronym for Amazon Web Services. It was all housed in the same web format.
And is that distinct from Alameda's assets?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So in your testimony, you said that there is, quote, an absence of independent governance throughout the FTX group, end quote. Yet Mr. Bankman-Fried has said that, quote, he wasn't running Alameda or making decisions on the Alameda side, end quote. Is this an accurate statement by Mr. I assume you're going to say your statement's accurate. Is Mr. Bankman-Fried's statement accurate?
I don't know the basis for his comment. I will note that he owned 90% of Alameda.
So, but you've seen no distinction in governance between the two?
Oh, absolutely not. There's no distinction whatsoever. The owners of the company could really run free rein across all 4 silos.
Thank you for testimony.